Welcome everyone. Welcome to Impact. We've got with us Sister Fikile. Sister Fikile, she has come to join us today on our podcast, and we are going to be looking at how the Lord has led. We need to sometimes look back and look at how the Lord has led and what journey it has been and what we are going through. So right now we are going to welcome Sister Fikile.
Thanks.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yes, lovely to have you.
Thanks very much. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. It's been some time since we saw each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we thank God.
Yes. Yeah. I last was with your daughter. I think I was with your daughter another time. We did a podcast together.
Yes. I remember being here, and it was a lovely experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. I just thought, it would be good for us to sit and have a conversation, and just we are discussing on how God has been with you. So can you please describe to us where were you born and who are you basically, so that the listeners can get a glimpse of who you are?
Okay, as you have introduced me, my name is Fikile. I had been born at Chitelan village, and then along the way, by God's grace, I'm here at Nyavan today.
Oh, okay. So you were born in Chitelan?
Yes.
Oh, so you were raised there?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to check with you. How was it like growing up with your parents in Chitelan? How was the environment there, Christian-wise? Actually, I wanted to check if was your father religious or your mother religious, or what was happening when you were growing up?
My dad was not religious, but the only thing he did, he used to pray, and he believed so much in God. The only person who was religious is my mother.
Okay.
And then during those time, I remember she would take us to church on Sunday. It was to Assemblies of God.
Okay. Okay.
So during that time, I was so observant.
Okay.
There was this worn out Bible. I will read it. I liked reading by the time.
Oh.
So I will read the Bible as we were going to church.
Okay.
So as I was reading.
You were going to assemblies.
Yes.
Assemblies at the time when you were in Chitelan.
Yes, and sometimes it was not only assemblies. Sometimes my grandma used to attend this apostolic church.
Okay.
And then I will sometimes go with her to the apostle church.
Okay.
The church where they wear the uniform, the green.
Yeah, that green uniform. Okay.
Yes.
So there was the religion of your mother, and then also the religion of your father. Of your grandfather, your grandmother.
Yes.
And then also your father was not fully into church, but he was a religious person in a way, because there was some sort of a relationship that he shared with God. Yes. Okay.
Because I remember during those time, he will gather us around him.
Okay.
And then the most important part I remember was him praying for us.
Okay.
He will pray. He will say that the man is so serious praying.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Wow.
So he was the religious, though he wasn't going to church.
Okay. And how many were you with as children to your mother?
We were 5.
Oh, you were 5.
All of them during the time we were going to assemblies.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you are what? The second born? Third born?
I'm the second born.
Oh, you are the second born.
And then by the time, the person who was very religious during that time was my brother.
Okay.
My elder brother, yes.
Oh.
That one, during those time, he was the brother at church.
Oh, yeah, used to be.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember growing up.
Yes.
We used to call people who love the Lord brothers. You know, is a brother in church. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, I understand. So then, as you grew and how was your relationship? Where did you feel that you need to have a relationship with God personally for yourself?
You see, as I have told you that during that time, I used to read the Bible.
Okay.
And then as I was reading, there was something that I was discovering on my own.
Okay.
I didn't get that at church, but I got this information from the Bible.
Okay.
It's like the Bible was talking to me. For example, as I was reading, I will get that God is a God of order.
Okay.
And then when we go to church on Sunday, there will be so many things happening there, contrary to what the Bible says, you see. And then I started to wonder, why is the Bible not related to what is happening at church?
Oh, this is fascinating. Ne? So when you were reading, you were seeing something that was totally different from what you were experiencing when you go to church.
Yes.
So the Bible would tell about the way he's a God of order,
yes.
the reverence for him,
yes.
how people must come before him in reverence and all these things. And
yes.
then when you go to church, it becomes now the opposite of what you have read.
Yes, I remember reading Revelation 4.
Okay.
And then I will see how they worship God
The
in
angels,
heaven.
Yes. Wow.
And then I read that they kneel down, they bow down, and then cover their faces and worship their God.
Okay.
And then when we go to church, it was different because people will be moving around doing it differently. So I started to get worried there. What is really happening?
What is going on
What
here?
is going on
It
here?
looks like there's a disconnect.
Yes.
Wow.
Why is the Bible saying something, and then why is something different is happening in the church of God? And then I was worried, very worried. As a child, remember I was still in primary school.
You were still in primary, realizing all these things.
Yes.
That there seems to be some sort of something is not fully right here.
Yes.
But you couldn't tell what is the problem.
I couldn't tell because I couldn't really understand what was happening.
And you can't challenge anyone to say, but why are we doing these things the way we are doing them?
Yes,
you just need to...
Yes, but I was very worried as a child.
So then your curiosity was there.
Yes.
In terms of wanting to fully...
It was always there.
Okay.
Like when I go to church, like I said, with my granny and with my mother, you will see what was happening in Apostolic Church. People will be busy doing their things, and then when you check what the Bible says, you find that it's very much different.
So in many cases, you would notice the variance actually that exists there. Like these things that are happening here, man. So even in apostolic, you would still see the same thing.
Yes, it was the same thing, but done in a different way.
In a different way.
Yes.
And you see, hi man, this is not what the Bible says.
Yes, and then I was worried. It's just that, who are you going to ask?
Who are you going to ask?
Yes.
You can't even question to say that.
Even if you could question at home, you will never get a proper answer because we're just going there. All of us, we didn't have those answers.
Like there was no person who could give a satisfactory answer. And were there Bible studies when you go to church, like where you would sit down and study the Bible and discover what the Bible says?
No, that never happened. The only thing that happened there, the most exciting part is when those instruments are playing and then people will be dancing and say they are praising the Lord. I think that's the highlight of it. And then it will come this praise and worship whereby people will say, now it's time for worshiping God. And then people will be moving up and down, making this whole lot of noise in the church. And then you will see that what is happening is not what is supposed to be done. But you don't know what is supposed to be done and the way it was being done.
So it was very interesting. So you would see when you go to church, you see these things, but then you don't know how to attack these things because there's no Bible study to say we can study these things and review our ways of where we are.
The only time when the Bible was opened is when during the pastor time, during preaching, and the pastor will then open the Bible, take the verse, and then start talking. You see, that's the only time when the Bible was opened, and then there were no engagement. No, you will not ask anyone any question. Why is it this happening? Because there was no platform there for that.
Wow. So this happens every Sunday.
Yes.
So every Sunday you go to church. This is what happens every time.
So the only highlight is during the playing of the music, praise and worship. So, and then as they were dancing, because I was not into it.
Okay.
As they were dancing, I would just
be sitting.
I will just be sitting and looking, and then wondering, why are they doing this in church? Because the Bible says this.
So you'll be the only one who sits. Was it painful to be seated like that?
Oh, it was so painful because some people will think that maybe this one is demon possessed. Maybe this one, this one has got this little faith. Because you are not doing what they are doing, you are not praising. You don't know how to praise God according to those times. So you see, you are going to church, but you are frustrated because what is happening there?
You can't be able to join and fully participate because, and you feel like something they are leaving you out of this experience that they are having. And which, in a way, it's not what the Bible requires of us to do. So it was challenging for you to fully wrap your head around it to say, okay, what do I do with this situation that I have? So were you literally being called? So I mean, demon possessed for not participating, or it was a feeling that you felt that people around you feel that maybe something is wrong with you because you are not participating.
No, you see, during that time, the speaker will be at front and say, "Let us praise our God." Some people do not understand why they are here. So let us stand up and worship our God, and then you will be looking at them and say, what are they saying by worshiping God?
So you couldn't participate properly. What an interesting development. There are many people that I've spoken to. I'm almost realizing a similar trend. There's a quotation from Ellen White where she speaks about there are people out there who are longing for the truth. And these people, she says that they don't know where to find it. But they can tell that something is not right. But they don't know what, they can't put their finger on it. They are not able to tell where what is wrong, what is going on. But something in them tell them that this is not what we are supposed to be having. But there's nothing better. So you end up being there and not knowing where to go.
That's very true because you see, that feeling that I had, it's like I was yearning for something different. But what is it? I didn't know. So it's indeed, there are sheep of God who are out there yearning, having this same yearning, looking for God, but they do not know what to do and where to go.
So it's like you feel that there's some so in your heart you want to do what is right. You're longing for what is right, but you look around you. There's nothing that you can.
There's nothing. You will just go to church this week, hoping maybe next week I will find something better. You just keep on going.
So you were alternating between assemblies and the apostolic. So those and they had their experiences in both. The other one was doing it differently, but it was similar experiences that you could not participate in. And then you go the other side is the same thing. You have got similar experiences that you cannot participate in.
And as I was growing up, as now I was growing up, even though I didn't know there's this church, that has got this what is in the Bible. I remember talking to my mom. Even my mom had this same feeling. Yes, we'll talk together, saying, "Hey, but what is being done there? It's very wrong. How can they do that in the house of the Lord?" You see, we will be worried. Sick. We will be worried sick. Actually.
So you and your mom, you are seeing these things, and you come back at home and you discuss to say, but hey, the things that are happening are not really the best.
Yes.
But you are not able to really tell.
That's why it was so simple for my mom to be an Adventist, because she saw the other churches, and then she also get the chance to witness this Adventist church. So it was very simple.
So now tell me then, as you grew up now, you started staying at Nyawani,
Yes.
and then I believe that's where you met the Adventist church. What happened actually there?
Where I was staying, there was these neighbors of us. There was this late Machavele.
Okay.
Father to Mr. Machavele.
We're talking about my dad now. All right. Okay.
Yes. You see, that family was so different. In the place where we were staying, it was so different. Growing up, we used to see him Friday, Wednesdays going to church.
Okay.
But we never noticed that there's something. You see, we have got this yearning of the true church, and then now we are now near the true church. But it took us so many years to discover this church, or to realize. So Mr. Manchabelo.
Okay, how were they looking to you? How did you? What were you seeing when you look at them and their commitment to their church and all that? What was going on in your mind?
You see, that one, as I said, the family was so different, so wonderful, because I said there's this Mr. Paul Machavel, my brother here. It was so different. He was playing with my brothers, but you could see that this one so different. When it comes to household chores, we will always be planting trees, watering them, carrying water with those big containers, pushing with a wheelbarrow. You see, as the other children are playing, jumping up and down, that young man will be very busy doing the house chores. You see, and then
I'm shocked.
And then something again different, special about this family. When it comes to their day of worship, nothing comes first. Every day, same time. And remember, my name Mr. Machavele was never late at church. You know that during this time, Fridays evening, he will be holding his Bible, going to church. Again in the morning, you will see him very clean, going to church with his family, the late Mrs. Machavel, and then together with the son, Brother Paul here. So it was their habit, and then we'll just be looking at them, not noticing anything. We're just observing their peculiarity, but nothing came to our mind. We're still yearning.
Wow.
We're still yearning for this church, you see. Yes.
Wow.
I think in a way we were selfish, because we're neighbors, remember?
We're neighbors, and we never really spoke.
Yes.
You know,
and we never know that we are yearning for the church, and you never said anything. I think you are very much selfish.
Yeah. In actual fact, it looked like we. It's a religion that is so different, that no one wants to be part of it. You know, it's like you feel that this thing, it's just mine because I understand it. But the whole one, you feel like everyone who's looking is something that they don't want to be part of. You don't even feel the need to explain to anyone, because you feel like there's no one who is really going to understand what you are actually having. And the uniqueness that you're talking about, but from the inside, I don't see it. You know,
you don't see it.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I don't see anything different. I just see myself as someone who is just forever busy, man, and almost suffering, you know.
Oh.
Because I'm longing to go and play there. I want to go and have what the others are having. I remember growing up, there was one young man. His family used to respect him a lot, you know. They used to respect him a lot, and his father, his family would bring him food. And cover the food and bring it to his room there and wow, to me it was so beautiful. And then with me, I was treated like a child at home, you know. And I remember
very worried.
Yeah, I remember going to my mother and saying, "Hey man, but why are you not respecting me in this house?" You know, like the other boy is my age, but they are respecting him a lot in his house. They give him food in his own room.
He's getting special
treatment.
Yes,
and I seem not to be getting it here. I'm just being. And my mother said, "Never, no, you never see it in this house." So it was. It's funny that for you are looking at an orderly family.
Yes.
For me, I'm looking at it from a different angle. I want this thing to. I can't wait for it to be over, you know, so that I can live my life. It's not something I'm enjoying. It's even going to church was not something that I really enjoyed. Okay. It was something that I was doing because we have to do, and discovering that this thing is the truth, you know. That thing makes it worse. You just discover, okay, this thing is the truth. So it was not something that I had chosen to say, this is my religion. So growing up was just a religion of our home, you know. So yeah,
it was not your religion.
It was not my religion.
It was a burden, sort of.
Yeah, it was a burden. Okay, I knew it's true. Yes. Because when they teach, my father was very good at teaching. So when they teach it, I knew it's true. But man, the world was calling as well. You know? The world was calling. So, but of course, now when I look back, I appreciate all those things. I appreciate the hard work we used to do. The planting, we must plant trees. We must do this. We must always be cutting grass. I was always like, there was no day where I was not busy with something. That one was just something.
That I remember. You were always busy. I know.
Yes.
Yeah. You are always busy. And then if you try to go out, the mom will call you, "Hey, Paul!"
You actually remember me that. Oh,
man. So there was no chance you would go to and get lost in the world.
No. You know, growing up, that was the hardest. My mother would make sure I don't go anywhere.
I know.
If I go anywhere, she would be calling me. If I'm playing outside, she would call me. And I hated it. For me, I hated it. I wanted to go out there.
I remember the gesture. I remember. When she calls, you'll see the face.
Yeah.
The young man is not happy.
He's not happy. I was not happy. I was not happy at all. I never enjoyed anything about that. But I knew that she loved me. That was the difficult part. I knew that this woman loves me a lot, man. She can't allow me to go and play with others and all that. So it was very unique in that sense that it's the same thing with Adventism. I was looking at it like this thing, man, that we have as a family. It engulfs the whole family, you know. It was not something that was small. It was something that was engulfing all of us.
Yes.
We're in it, all of us.
Yes.
And there was no way of not being in it. And yet I'm not fully for it, but I am for it because I see it's true.
Yes.
Because when they teach it, my father would teach it very well that you would understand properly that this thing, there's nothing you can do about it.
I remember very well the community even referred to the church as much as church. Yes, because I think by the time he was the one who was holding the church.
No, it was a church elder for a long time. They gave him the church eldership for a long time. So he was the one who was running most of the things. So because in Sunday churches, when you're a church elder, you're a pastor.
Yes.
So he looked like the pastor of the church, but it was not his church. They were elections time and again, but he would always be elected as an elder. So it became almost like that. Wow, what a unique perspective. I'm shocked actually, because looking from the inside, I was looking outside and thinking that people are having it easier out there, man. They are living better lives. But my father believed that children must be kept busy so that they don't wander into the world. So every day he woke up, he would give me things to do.
So he did very well in that regard. He did very well.
And you guys were noticing?
Yes.
Wow.
We were noticing that the young man, Paul, as he tries to go and play, you will hear the mother, Paul! Yes.
It was always like that.
And if it's not mom, he's dead.
And he was doing it in style, He was for it. What my mother was doing, he was for it. But he would not tell me directly to say, go back home.
Yes.
But when he passes, he would ask me, so who is at home? And I'm like, it's my mom. Like, so who's helping her? I'm like, man, listen to this man. Then I knew there was no negotiation.
Yes.
I just need to go back home. Then I would pack up my things and go back home. So he always was protecting. I didn't see it at that time that he was protecting me from the world, and because there was never the world for me. It was where I grew up. So I didn't understand what is this people. What are these people doing actually? Because they never really explained it. I think that was the most difficult part. That they were not showing me that we are protecting you from anything. They were just doing it, and then when they see me with children that are not fine, they would protect me. But I would not see why are they stopping me, because they would never explain.
Yeah.
So it made it a bit of a challenge on my side.
So it's a lesson to us as parents that as we are trying to warn our children against the world, at least we must give full information. Why are we saying they mustn't do this?
Yes,
Why are we saying they have to do this?
Because I remember there was only one time where my mother really warned me. I had a friend who was smoking dagga.
Yes.
And that friend almost wanted to introduce me properly to smoking as well. And my mother warned me. Said, I don't want to see this person anywhere near you. And I had a very close relationship with that person. So, but then I knew I must pull back from that relationship, and then stayed away from it. And I never smoked from there. You see, so I can fully understand what you're saying, that there must be some form of communication that we feel like. I think to my parents it was that thing of he's too young to understand.
Yes.
So we must just tell him.
Let's protect him.
He cannot understand anything. We must just tell him what he needs to do. For working very hard at home, I saw it as some form of punishment. It was too hard. I never saw it as something that was good that they were doing. Only now I realize, wow, that was the best thing ever. What they did there, that was the best thing ever. At school, I would go to school whether I like it or not.
Yes.
Even
church.
Yes. Yeah. School, church, school, church.
There was no choice.
There was no choice. Actually, I would go to school on holiday, go and check if others are not there. But I did.
You see, you did a very good job. Look at you today.
Yeah, I know.
A very, very responsible man. Thanks to the parents.
Yeah. No, it was very interesting growing up, because I used to see you, and I would just see this quiet lady, and she didn't. I would see that you are quiet, you don't involve yourself in a lot of things, you are not all over, but I didn't know you that much. And then my friend was your younger brother, of course.
Yes.
So we were very close with your younger brother, and that was my friend. And to me, that was it. And then we used to go out and play. So when you were there, because I remember that growing up when in that situation, it was your grandmother was a ZCC.
Yes.
So did you ever attend ZCC as well, or?
Yes. I also went to visit CC. And then I think that was the worst religion of my time. I think and that one was the worst, because, and then, the funny thing, and by that time, there was this prophesying, you see, and I never believed in it.
Okay.
Why? It's because of the Bible. Even though I never have this full understanding, as they were saying, hey, they do this and you will go to them and then they will give you information. As the person was talking, inside my heart, I will wonder, why does he think I'm buying his story?
Wow.
You see, they will tell you that way you must go and get this. God is saying you must do this. God is saying you must do this. You see, what I believed is that God could hear me. Let's say,
Wow.
I could understand that I don't need those particular things for me to be healed or for me to have this and that. The thing that I got in the Bible was that God could hear me. So I believed in praying to God, and then I believed that God was hearing me, even during that time when I was not an Adventist.
So, when you went to this church and they call you for prophecy, but that's like the spiritual high of the people who are experiencing it. That's what they love the most, isn't it?
Yes.
So to you, that experience was not the best.
No, you see, I was still yearning. My heart was still looking, because even the prophecies.
So, did you know anything about false prophets, or what was happening actually?
I was having just a bit of information that those are false prophets, because what they were saying, you see, it was not in connection with my life. I could see that these people are just talking. I could even look at him and say, this one inside my heart, this one is just talking. So I never believed in those prophecies.
Hey, that's shocking. That's very shocking. So, to you, wow, I don't even know where to start, because for most people, when they get that part of being prophesied, even if these things are false, these things are the things that hold them more dearly to whatever religion they are in. So to you, it was a way where you saw this thing is more fake than ever.
To me, it was nothing. I was only just going there because I was my granny's favorite. See, and then I was a beneficiary in the HCC book. Yes.
What a journey. Wow. So then, wow. I've never really thought of it like this. The Lord is good, really, because
very true.
He was still protecting you in not being swallowed up by these things, even while you were in them.
Yes, I never. Those things never took me. The prophecies, I never believed in prophecies. No, I never drank a tea and believed that it will heal me. I never believed that those papers they are using for praying, they will heal me. I only believe that God is the one who heals. God is the one who protects. God is the one who gives, you see.
Okay. Wow.
So that's why I'm saying you were very much selfish, because we were there. See,
I know we're there.
You were there.
I remember one time, because the one I would speak to, though it was not evangelism, it was the worst thing ever, was Lawrence, because Lawrence was my best friend. Like, I just liked the character, I liked the person. He was very smart, and I loved his deep way of thinking.
Yes,
deep way of thinking about things, and I liked it. And he loved soccer, and I loved soccer as well. So we would play together. So when I would tell him, let's say he wants to go to church on Sunday, I'm like, but you know that, this out by but you know that you are playing you guys there. This thing of yours is not real. And then he would get so angry. He would get so angry. He's like, why, Paul? You should never ever say something like that again, man.
That's why.
And I would invite him sometimes to my church, and then we would go together and study the book. And he was so smart that when we were studying the prophecies, maybe of Daniel chapter 2, he would get it. He would get it
because he was very smart.
Yeah,
he's very smart.
Yeah, he was very smart. Yeah, and my father would like, wow, and numbers and all these things. He was just so quick to get what's going on. Yeah. So to me, it was. you can see them. And, I mean, these things of yours that you are doing on Sunday, because I would never even go with him to church. Man. And my evangelism was so bad that the way I did it, he got so angry that from that day he was so angry.
Oh, now I understand.
Because I undermined him a lot.
Now I understand.
You understand?
Yes, because at home, he was the one who was also always encouraging my mom that the Assemblies of God is the right church, you see. And that one has got dignity, yes. And then he was always telling him those kind of things, and then that's why she stayed a lot in Assemblies of God. So it was because of you and him. Now I understand.
No, we had, because I attacked him a lot. To me, it was because as I'm saying, I was not a Christian. But I was born in a Christian home.
Yes.
So being taught whatever we're being taught was just beautiful. And I see these things are true.
Yes.
It's like that thing where you see, you can't escape this thing. It's the truth. The Sabbath was so clearly explained. The mark of the beast, how it's going to come about, clearly explained. The issues of how Jesus Christ was born prophetically, clearly explained. So I saw in all those things that these things are clear. There's no way.
Yes.
And any thinking person should see that this thing is the truth.
Yes.
So with my friend, I was just suspecting that he knows. I don't know how I thought about it,
Yes.
And I really pushed him very far.
Yeah, a bad way of evangelism.
Yeah, it was the worst thing. It was the worst type of evangelism. But we remained friends. It's not like we were angry at each other. It's just that time he really told me to my face to say, you never say that again, man. I'm like, but it's true, man. It's true, man. These things of what you guys are doing at church is playing, man. It's not church, that thing. And then I left it. We left it at that. Then we never spoke about religion again. We would just would encourage each other, and my relationship with him just grew. We're just very close brothers, and we had similar challenges in the home, and he had challenges in his home as well. So we grew just very close to each other, just like that, and going forward. Now, so tell me then, what then happens when you discover now this faith? What came about?
You see, God is so good, and God loves us very much. At first, my daughter got this religion.
Yes.
She came to church first, and then you know what? Because I never knew that the church was the one that I was looking for. I was fighting. How can you go to church on Saturday? Why? Because today is the day when you're supposed to help here at home. And then she would just keep quiet. No, she never talked back. She kept quiet. So it
also, so when you would see her going to church, you felt like this one is being rebellious, man.
Yes, this one.
There's no need for her to be
nowadays,
doing this.
This one so disrespectful, because as I'm talking to her now, following Saturday she would go, and then I'll say, no, today we're not going. She will go. Yes. But as she was going, there was a difference in her life. You see, she was still young, but she started to be different. But still, I didn't know that was the church I was looking for.
Oh, so you just saw that there's something must be happening.
Yes.
So at that time could you tell that it's the church's influence, or you just thought maybe you don't know what was going on?
I never knew, because she would tell me that, hey, Mom, there's this this person who called me at school, the parent who called me, and then the parent talked to me and said, I'm so different from these other children. And then the parent liked me very much. She said, I'm different, man. That's why I started to see the difference in her life. But still, you were there. We never told that this is the right church.
I didn't know how to say it.
Yes.
I didn't know how to say it because whenever I would say it, people would get angry. So, you know what?
Yes.
These people don't want to hear the truth. You get to that environment where you think everyone does not want to hear the truth.
Yes.
Because my father would explain. You find that there are many people around there whom my father would teach in my presence. And then I see this man has been knocked. There's no way. But he would still choose error.
Yes.
And say, you know what? I hear what you're saying. But I can't change.
So from this scenario, now what I learned is that we have got a lot of work. Whether people are rebellious or not, whether we think they will take it or not, because you will never know.
You never know
who's in search of this kind of things.
You never know who's a sheep until you give them the truth and you see that indeed it's a sheep. Because you can't test by looking. Because in my mind, I never assumed there was no way where I would see you as someone who could accept the truth.
Yes.
There was no indication of that nature to me. I just saw someone who was going to live their lives the way they want to live it, and then that there's any.
And by that time, you were still young. I don't blame you. We're still young.
Yeah, no,
we're still young.
And the other issue is, even me myself at that time, I'm still. There's a lot I'm still learning.
Yes.
And trying to understand who I am.
Yes.
And trying to see if this is what I want to follow for the rest of my life. Because I had not made that decision yet.
Yes.
I had not made that decision yet to say, this is my religion, this is what I want for myself. Yeah, but with the way the Lord guided, that's when I began to see it. Wow. It's so interesting that, when I began this conversation with you, I never even thought I would feature in anywhere near these things. But I see now that there's a part we've played, though it may be negative, but I wish it was too positive, I'm learning that you'll never understand, you'll never fully.
Yes.
Because to me, that is why I don't understand where someone can be an Adventist and then be a false Christian at the same time. It just, because to me, Adventism is the hardest religion in the world, in that it doesn't go in the beaten path of everyone's, it's not natural. You worship on Saturday, everyone goes to church on Sunday.
Yes.
So to me, that is if you want to do it, you must really, really know what you are doing. It's only now that I realize, people can be Adventist and not understand what they are doing. They can be Adventist and not be true Christian.
Yes.
I'm just shocked that this person can join this church without fully understanding why they go to church on the Sabbath. All those things were just difficult because when growing up, even the issues of the state of the dead, my father would teach us the state of the dead so well that you would understand that the dead are dead and there's nothing. And then I would see everyone around me believes that the dead are not dead. They believe in some ghosts. They believe in things.
Yes.
So
that's what we believed. Because you'll get scared as it's dark, thinking that there's a ghost.
There's a ghost.
Yes.
A ghost somewhere. So that environment where I would see that almost everyone does not want to hear these things. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to. So then it drove me to a point where I felt like I don't want to talk to anyone. This is just my thing, This religion.
So you're very selfish.
This is just my thing. I go to church. I live my life. I understand why I'm doing it. But let's live life. Let's just continue. So it was not something that I felt like needs to be shared with other people.
Yes.
Wow. What an interesting way of looking. So then, your child, then, did they play a role in you finding Adventism, or what actually happened?
As I said, her life started to change for the better, but I didn't know what was changing. I remember a person from church invited me to come in. There was this Pathfinder Day.
Okay.
She will wear this uniform. They will organize everything for her. You see, she will wear the uniform, but I was never interested to go and see because I was still looking for this true church of God.
So when they invite you to say come and
I never
went there.
I never went. Not even a single day. I never went.
So she would come back and say they're inviting you to church.
She would tell me, Mom, they're inviting you. And then I was thinking maybe it's one of those churches.
One of those things that...
maybe because it's Saturday, they go to church on Saturday, maybe there's some of the rituals that are doing there. So I never went even a single day.
Yeah. So you would think, hey, yeah, it must be weird, isn't there? It must be weird. The things that must be happening in there, because it's even this is more weird because it's on the Sabbath even.
Yes. And then in the issue of Sabbath, you see, I will read in the Bible that remember the Sabbath day, but I couldn't really understand what the Sabbath was. But what I was looking for is the true church of God, the God that the church that worship God in a correct way.
But without fully knowing where to find it and whether this church exists or not.
So in other words, I was having this little information.
Okay. Wow. All right. Then I don't remember what happened, but I just came back and then I found that okay, we've got this sister in the church. She's now part of the church, and I don't know what led to that. Is it something you understood what was going on, or just happened?
Yes. There was this younger brother of mine, number 4.
Okay.
By the name of Abel.
Okay.
He was at Cape Town by the time. And
studying there.
Studying there. Yeah. Yes, he was doing...
his engineering.
Yes, he's engineering there.
Okay.
And then, by God's grace, he met the Adventist friend who started teaching him that there's this 2 churches. Actually, we have got 2 churches in the world. The Church of God and the Church of Satan. And then they taught him when he came back. Before he came back, he called. He said, see, I've got this news. Hey, and then the day he came back home, you see, he didn't wait to put the bags in the room. You just gather around and then listen to him. And then he will be explaining that the Bible says that you must worship him on a Sabbath day. And then God's Sabbath is Saturday. So the true church of God worship God on Sabbath day, which is Saturday. And then I asked him, what about these other churches? And then he said, all of them, as long as they are worshiping on Sunday. This is this other 2. This is number 2 church. There's this other Church of God and the Church of Satan. And then he will be explaining, reading the verses. I remember that day, as he was busy reading the verses, the electricity went off. And then we were so worried. As the electricity went off, he said, let us pray. You see, we prayed and prayed. He prayed and prayed and prayed. When he said amen, the electricity comes back.
Wow.
And then you see, then we witnessed our first miracle. Because the moment he finished praying, the electricity came back again.
Wow.
And then he said, you see, because I was explaining this precious truth, the devil is not happy. And then he continued. I remember that day we slept very late.
Wow.
He was explaining.
And you were asking questions to him?
Yes, and then we asked him, where is this church? And then he said, Mr. Machabel's church. And then I said, of silence in the house. There was a moment of silence.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it.
Yes. How can it be? Because how do we start tomorrow? Now we're asking ourselves questions. How do we start?
Wow.
Because myself, I was so happy that I've been looking for this church for a very long time. It was, I remember it was me, my daughter, my mom, by that time, she was not taken because, remember, my younger brother Lawrence told him that the church is that one. Yes. So
it's unfortunate, I'll never see Lawrence again. I mean, okay, I will see him. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna see him, but that explanation that I did with him, really, I had never seen Lawrence so angry in my life. He was a person who would never get angry.
Yes.
So he had this character of a saint,
Yes.
I felt like he's too much of a saint. He would never lie. He would never do anything. But at the same time, I just knew that these things that he's doing, this church thing, for me, it's just playing this one.
yes.
I had that undermining look at that church, and then I undermined the whole thing for
I
him.
think
And
you have to go back and correct that.
Yeah, no, I must go back. I must go back and say, hey, man, my brother, I know, my friend, I didn't mean it like that, man. I'm shocked that it took someone who went to study in Cape Town. So were you not shocked with the distance to say, okay, you met this church in Cape Town, why is it here?
Hey, as I said, there was a moment of silence in the house. Hey. Everyone was asking themselves, and then we even we were so surprised. You see? Hey. And then he said, Mr. Majaba's church. The Sabbath church. And then, you see, that time we have been passing the people there over under the shade. Sabbath, you will pass them there. I will just pass, seeing them sitting there. Each and every Sabbath, there were people there. And then now, my younger brother is telling me that the true church is that one. The one I've been passing for years. For so many years.
For so many years, man. I mean, more than 20 years. Literally passing
and
away.
Then,
wow.
So now we're three. It was me who believed this.
Okay.
It was my daughter. She was saying, Mom, I was telling you.
Okay. Okay, so when Abel is explaining these things, your daughter is there confirming. This is what I've been telling you.
It's true. This is what I've been telling for so many times. And then you said, I'm just lying. See? And then it was us. It was the three of us now. We were so excited. You know, that day, the happiness I got from that day, it's I don't know how to explain it.
Wow.
You see, finding the Lord, finding what I was looking for my entire life. I was so excited. You see, I got this peace of mind from that day.
Wow.
I got this peace of mind. I don't know how to describe it, but from that day, I got this peace of mind. And then we started to plan now. I no longer remember the day, but he said, this Sabbath, we are going to keep our first Sabbath there with them in the church.
Wow.
So we didn't know how it was done. We didn't know that we have to start on Friday. But Saturday morning, we wake up with the three of us. We woke up and then prepare ourselves. And then we go there.
And then they just see you walk in. It must have been a shock.
It was a shock because it was the three of us getting into the church for the first time.
Wow.
Remember, myself, I was passing there.
Yes.
Some of them invited me to come and see my daughter. I never responded.
You never responded to that.
But that day, people saw us coming into the church for the first time.
Wow.
And then we went there and sat at the back.
Wow.
And then, you see, they were singing. I remember they were singing this number 57, Lying Saka. You see, as they were singing, the happiness that that I was getting.
Wow.
I was so excited, even
Wow.
though I didn't know how to sing those songs, but listening to them, I knew before they opened the Bible that this is the right church.
Wow.
By the way they were singing.
Wow.
Yes. And then after that, it was Sabbath school. I was so surprised. It was for the first time seeing someone there opening the Bible, quoting the verse, explaining something that has got sense for the first time. And then,
Wow.
as that was not enough, you see, as that was not enough, now it was a divine service. It was so different. You see, the way they went to the front, everything. You see, before anyone tell me anything, I could see that this one is the true church I was looking for my entire life. I was so happy.
Wow. Wow.
And then,
Wow.
divine service.
I can't help just by saying wow.
Divine service was over, and then now it was time now for. I remember it's like they welcomed us. They welcomed us. You see, we got this special welcome. The church welcomed us. Came and shake our hands. You see, you felt like this is my family. I'm part of this. Became very proud before I could, you see. Yes. And then during break, we were very much welcomed. And then they were wondering, how did you come?
Yeah, I mean,
they were so surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like
I'm shocked as well. You know?
It's like Adventists, they are so selfish, no. Why did you come? Now we have to explain that we got this message
from
Cape Town.
From Cape Town when you are here.
Yes. You see, as Adventists, we have got this a job to do.
Wow.
So many people are looking for this Christ, and then it's like we are selfish. And then, as you were saying, we think maybe they had these ones. When if I tell this one, they won't accept this. So. What I've learned from my experience is that each and everyone deserve this information, whether they take it or not.
So tell me, wow.
Let me go to Bible study.
Okay.
That day was very special. It was so special, man. It's like you are meeting the Lord. It's like we're before Him.
Wow. Wow.
And then. During Bible study, you see, Cecily by the time,
okay.
Mrs. Chauke.
Yeah, Mrs. Chauke. She's not married, Mrs. Chauke now. Yeah.
She was teaching about the horses, you see, in Revelation, saying now the horse now is white, the white horse represent this, and then I have been reading the Revelation, and then the horse was just a horse to me.
Just a horse to you.
Yes.
Wow.
And now I'm going this Revelation of this this book, and then saying that this one represent the message of God, the evangel. Yes. So by the end of the day, we were so excited. You see, especially the two of us, me and my younger brother, because that other one will just be saying, I've told you. But the two of us, you were so happy. As we're going home in the evening, we're so happy. We're also trying to sing the songs, even though we didn't catch much.
Wow, what a journey. What a journey. So, help me understand here.
Yes.
You were reading, you had read about the order
Yes.
of what is supposed to happen when you are at church.
Yes.
And then when you got into the church now, you find that order.
Yes.
When they do the divine service, the way they walk in, they kneel down,
Yes,
they
yes.
are quiet,
Yes.
this holy.
As we entered there, and then I was witnessing all those, there was no need for anyone to tell me. There was no need, because what they were doing is like they were in power with the Bible. There was this order that I have never seen in my entire life.
You don't understand for us, for some of us who were born in the church, these things, we take them for granted.
Oh, it's just normal.
To me, it's too normal. There's nothing here fancy. I remember one of my, she's my aunt. No, she's not my aunt. She's Mantongo. She's my aunt.
Yes, the aunt.
Yeah, she's my aunt, yeah. I call her Mantongo. Pina, she's from Minga.
Yes.
So she says to me, hey, I went to church. We're doing Holy Communion. I've never witnessed such Holy Communion. So I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, man, they were reading from the Bible. Everything is biblical. Even how they did the bread. Even how they did the wine.
Everything.
And they wash their feet.
Everything.
She was so shocked. She was so shocked, and I was like, okay. Wow. So Holy Communion is something shocking.
So to you, it's just a normal.
To me, that thing is just a ritual, because I've been doing it, so it's nothing.
So it's, you see, the songs, everything that happened that day, it is still in my mind. You see, the day I entered the church, actually that day when my brother was explaining and told us that the church, we have got a church in our village. You see, as I've said it, I had this happiness that I can't explain in my life up until today. Yes.
So you you actually felt that I found the truth.
Yes.
There was joy in your heart.
Yes, a joy that I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's like you have got all the things of the world. It's like you are very rich. You feel I don't know how.
Wow.
Because we have got this God, this true God. It is very, very, very special.
Wow. What a unique experience, eh? What a unique, totally different from anything. I just came back and then I found that you are in the church. I'm like, huh? What happened?
What happened?
And then I'm like, anyway, let me not interfere. I don't want to know. I didn't even check more. I didn't even know. I thought Abel came into the church after you. No. I didn't think he's the one who brought the church.
He's the one who brought this message.
And,
he's the one.
Wow.
And he's the one who convinced me. And it wasn't difficult because I was looking, I was searching.
So already it's almost like you are on the same path.
Yes, yes.
So when he explained it, like the key and the lock.
Yes. As he was explaining, you see, I was so happy. As he was explaining that there is this commandments that God wants us to keep, you see. And then there's this neglected one, the Sabbath day. And as he was explaining, you could see that it's very true. Now it came to my mind, that's why the Majabele family was doing like this. You see, now I was connecting the doors now.
And why we were keeping the Sabbath the way we did?
Yes.
Why we would never attend any funeral? Okay.
Now I was connecting the doors, and then
everything made sense.
Everything made sense. So what I've been looking for since I was young, now at least I finally found it. I never thought I would find it. Because you will go to this church, you find it is the same thing, but done in a different way, you see. You go to this one, same thing, done in a different way. And then you no longer believe that you will finally get. So when you finally get the true church, the true God, you see, it's like you have find all the riches of the world because, yes.
Wow. And then what happened to there's still a few things I need to ask around this issue. Yes. But I want to understand what then happened to your mother, because I just also found your mother there as well.
You see, my mother, it took time. Okay. Even though she was saying she could see that what was happening there, it wasn't the correct. But because this younger brother of mine told her that this is the right church, Mom, this one has got dignity, this one. This one is the right church. So she was still holding there. It took her some years, and then we're praying that maybe God, please, one day. And then we started doing prayers at home, and then she will attend. We will be reading the Bible, and then bit by bit. Actually, I never forced her.
Okay.
I never forced her. We were just doing the prayers, reading, and then being there for her. And then I was so surprised one day.
Okay. Wow.
One day said, tomorrow I'm joining you in your church. And I said, hey, are you serious? But it took time. It took time.
Wow. 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 I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. There's a lot I'm also discovering in this process. Wow. All I can say, wow. It's amazing what the Lord is able to do. Looking at the way you found the truth, tell me then, how did you find the people in the church when you would hear them commenting around the Bible and things like that? How were they to you? How did they look? Because you were educated, for most of us, growing up, not many people are educated, isn't it? Then coming into a church where you find you are the only one who is educated and these people are not educated, how did you find them, especially when they are reading the Bible? Didn't you find this thing is lower than what you expected?
As I went to church, from there I never missed because it was what I wanted. But it was so surprising. I remember making this comment, saying that it's like these people have got degrees, and it's like I'm in crèche. By the way, Mr. Majavele was quoting the Bible. That old man. And then I admire them. I was so happy, actually. You will see even the old mothers there, Mrs. Mabasa, the way they were teaching, you'll be surprised. Hey. But I've been to church, and then there were pastors, but now these old people, they are preaching. I'm not comparing but they are preaching more than what I've been hearing from the pastors or from the bishops.
So it was a total new experience for you.
Yes.
And the most beautiful thereof. And you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Wow.
Very much.
I know. Then the Bible is very clear when it says, other sheep I have,
yes,
which are not of this fold, and them I must bring.
That's
and
true.
That then they become one fold. Because I would think when you come, we must change our way of worship, sing a song that whether you can understand, maybe that you can relate to from Sunday churches or something. Try and accommodate you, and try and maybe speak in tongues or something so that you can feel welcomed, because we feel like this thing is too strange for you. That's how we are feeling on our side.
Yeah.
We feel like this thing is too strange for you. You are enjoying it, but we are feeling like maybe this is too much. It will chase you away.
Let us adjust.
We must adjust to you, yes, and become worldly so that we can attract you.
So it's totally different because, like myself, people, I believe there are people of God out there who are having the experience that I had, who are looking for the true way of worshiping God, you see. The way they sing song, you see, it called me.
Wow.
So there are those people, God's sheep, yes, they're out there, yearning for this truth. So there's no need for us to just twist or trying to make it, trying to adjust. There's no way. There's no. How do I put it? We don't have to adjust God's way. You see, we must give it to them the way it is, because already some of them, they want it. They are tired of the lies that they are hearing from the pastors. They are looking for the true way of worship.
Wow.
So let's say people are coming and say, let us adjust, let us sing those kind of songs. You'll say, maybe by doing that, will be chasing them away because they came to church looking for something different from what they are having, and then only to find that it's the same.
It's the same thing.
Yes,
they're doing the same thing we are doing. Can't you know? We are not doing the same thing. We're just trying to accommodate you, and we're accommodating using things that are not necessary. Wow, what a journey! What a journey! And then, how did you get baptized?
It wasn't difficult because already it's what I had been yearning for.
Okay.
It was what I had been looking for, that I must be baptized before I die.
Wow.
I don't want to die before I got baptized, because now I had this understanding that there's life, you see, and death. After this life you are having, after this death you are dying, and there's everlasting life, you see. So I wanted to be baptized very fast, so that, let's say I die, suppose I die, and then I wanted to have this everlasting life.
Yeah. Wow. It's like I'm seeing you for the first time, you know. It's like the things you're explaining to me, like, I know even to me, they're surprising me in every way, shape, or form. And sometimes we undermine the truth. We undermine these things that we have, and we think these things maybe, you know, they are not good enough. They are not what people want to hear. You know, maybe these things are too strange for people. You know, you want even to get rid of these things. And it's what souls are hungering for.
Yes.
So the Lord knows how to meet us in our point of need. You know, He knows what we need, and He created this truth, because this truth is not ours. He created this truth so that when we get it, we feel that this is the real food we've been looking for.
Yes. That's very correct, because you see, as I said, many people out there, even though some may not tell us, but I think they might be looking at us, how we are living. Some of people will tell you that the way you are living, you are so different. So you see, it's one of those. It's one of the benefit of being an Adventist. You become so different.
So tell me then, after you receive the truth, how does this make you feel? Like, how did it affect you, like, socially? Because the Adventist truth has a tendency of affecting every element of your life, at home, and socially, like, and at work as well. How did that happen?
So being an Adventist, it comes with perks, because you see, sometimes your family will want you to do this, and then now, because you're an Adventist, for example, the main fight that we usually have is this burial on Saturdays. That's where we...
More especially because this side in Limpopo, that's what really a lot of people suffer from.
Yes.
Because all the funerals are done on Saturday.
Yes. So from there, it took me sometimes, you see, at first I will just go to the funeral and then go back to church, because I thought maybe it is how it is done. Sometimes you don't listen to God, you look at the Christian
the behavior of everyone around you.
Yes. So as time goes on, I will see that now, no, man, God is saying I must remember Sabbath day, I must keep it holy. So there came a time where I no longer looked to someone. So that's where I started to be seen as bad-hearted, you see, by my family members, some of my family members. Why? Because it's just one day. Just go, it's one day. And then I will be explaining that, no, you see, God is saying this, and then you are saying this. I will come during the week. I will do what is supposed to be done. You see.
So I try on my side more, especially because I've also have family members who are not Adventists. So what I do is I attend more, especially during the week, and then also after Sabbath, I also go. But sometimes you find them angry already that you were not there. But because of the plowing that my father did before, they already almost expect it. So they know that there's no way we can change it. They do it
at least for you it's better because
I'm not the one who begins.
Someone paved the way for you.
The way, yes.
So on our side, it's difficult. It was difficult at first because some of your close relatives, you see, you will not go to the. At first, it was so painful, but as time goes on, you have to understand that God must come first. God comes first, and then the other things follows. So that is that. Even now, but I'm so happy because some of my family members now they understand. They will say, I will know that tomorrow won't be in, so today let's do this and that and that. Today let's draw the program because today you are here. So I'm so happy that some people are now starting to understand. I don't know, maybe one day, you see, we'll be together in this.
Because that's what we hope for, really.
Yes.
We hope that all people can actually understand this truth. Because it's not your truth, it's not someone's truth, it's the Bible truth. You know, everyone can just open the Bible and they will be able to see it for themselves.
Yes.
Wow. So, can you say then, with confidence, that discovering this truth has made your life better?
Yes, I can boldly say that because from that day, you see, you no longer worry. You no longer worry about things of this world. You see, you no longer worry that because I don't have this, so how am I going to live? You know that God's promises are true. Even though I don't have this, at least there is this something that is promised, and it is true. So you become so content. Sometimes people will say, "Why are you?" And then not knowing that you have got this God who's covering this everything for you. Yes.
It's true. It's absolutely true. I can also vouch for that. You know, there's this rest, man.
There's this rest,
There's
yes.
this rest
You put all your worries, you put all the burdens, yes, everything to Him, and then you see you are very free. You are living very free. You are enjoying yourself. You see, as I'm entering, as I'm going to church, you see, each and every Sabbath, as I'm going to church, it's like this happiness God revived. You see,
Indeed, man. May the Lord really, really bless this. It's such a beautiful thing. When I also now sat down and really thought very hard about this truth and whether do I want to follow this thing for myself.
yes,
It was such a joy to discover that there's nothing I can sell this truth for. There's nothing worth having this truth. It's like it's the best thing I can ever have. This, and it's the most beautiful thing to have. And for me, it has made me into who I am. Though I could not see it at that time, you know, I could not see the benefits of this thing. Man, it was just a religion that I didn't understand. What are we doing actually here?
yes.
But now that I fully understand, okay, not fully, I'm still growing in these things as well. But now that I have an idea of what's going on and this relationship that I have with Christ,
Yes.
you know, it's so beautiful. When I lost my mother, I felt the hand of Christ next to me, you know, covering me.
Yes.
When I lost my dad, you know, very precious people in my life. And when we met challenges with my wife as well,
Yes.
in our journey, and I saw the beauty of Christ, having Christ. And I just could not understand how another person who does not have this thing could survive.
Yeah,
it's like,
we thank God. We really thank God for this God that we are having. You see, all these worries, you see, all these problems, all these burdens, he's saying, give them to me. You don't have to carry them yourself. So you see, it's very, 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 it's a wonderful thing. People will look at you, how does this one survive? And then in your heart, you know that there's this special one. God is always there. He's carrying my burdens. He's carrying all my needs. You know all my needs. Sometimes he will give you according to his time, and then you will see him working in your life. It's so wonderful seeing God working in your life.
It's the most beautiful thing. I tell a lot of people, I'm saying, amen, there's a life out there you have not lived.
Yes.
There's a life beyond these things. That once you find it, you see that everything pales in comparison. You know, you look at everything, it becomes dreary and dingy. And you see this beautiful light there that nothing can match it.
Yes,
and it's the most wonderful thing to walk into.
Yes, you see, looking at myself, the way you described me, you said you just saw your sister, was very quiet. I wouldn't say anything in front of people. But here I am today. There was this first time that I talked in my village. There was a funeral somewhere here at Nyaban. And then people heard me for the first time teaching the word of God. So they were so surprised. Some of them couldn't hold it. They came to me, was it you teaching? Was it you? So I could see that there was there's a huge transformation in my life. The person I was, God is making me the better person from the person I was.
It's like nothing on earth, eh?
Yeah,
it's like nothing on earth, really. You feel that it's incomparable.
Yes,
it's the most beautiful thing ever.
It's a beautiful gift. Being an Adventist is a beautiful gift one could ever have in their lives.
Wow. 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 Oh, wow. What a testimony. I really want to thank the Lord for allowing us to have this conversation and for you to come through, really, and share your testimony with us.
Yes.
But okay,
we can't close this without talking about the health message.
Oh,
you
okay.
See, the most precious.
Okay, all right. I'm now. Okay. Wow. I actually forgotten. I had actually forgotten. You know that we can't. You need to hear these listeners. This one, you need to hear it because really. God is good, really, man.
God is good.
God is good. So tell me then. Let's get into that one. Actually, I want to know how did you find the health message? Actually, when you get into the church, you find that these people are eating healthy and all that. What was your reaction to it? Because nowadays people don't eat pork, they don't eat. They don't eat this, they don't eat that, and then they are teaching these things that are strange. What actually happened to you then?
So to me, embracing the health message, it wasn't that difficult because it's like I wanted the whole package. You understand? I wanted the whole package. So health message, it wasn't difficult for me.
Okay.
Yes. So as I went to church during break, the food we ate, you see, I forgot that part. The food we ate, it was so different to the food we were eating in my entire life. You see, this was the change of my life. We were eating different food. And then now I came to the Adventist church. There's this different food. You see, I like it more. You see, I like the church more. So as time goes on, they were teaching about the health message as the right hand of God to go and preach the gospel. You see, I also witnessed that because health message, I saw how powerful health message was in my Adventist life.
So when they were now teaching, you got to understand the reasons why they why they promote this thing.
Yes.
And it was not difficult for you.
Yes.
Because, okay, I mean, remember, growing up, we were poor.
Yes.
I was coming from a poor family, you were coming from a poor family.
Yes.
I know your background,
Yes.
my background is
Yes.
the same. You can't wait to work and start enjoying your life and have all these beautiful things that you can eat ice cream at any time,
Yes.
you can buy Coke at any time, you can drink whatever you want at any time. And you can't wait for that life because you feel like that's where life would begin.
And now opportunity come. Now you have to, you have got some money now, you have to buy those things that you have been looking for. Now the church is saying, hey, you must eat this, you mustn't eat this. To me, it wasn't a problem, seriously, because I understood. I believe in God. When God says, hey, this is the right thing, this is the right diet for you, I believe Him.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey,
So from there,
yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because, you don't understand how many people fight these things. They feel like God is too restrictive. God is just trying to make our lives difficult, and they fight with these things and all that. Because it's not like it's the church that has this thing.
yes,
You discover that it's in the Bible. It's how God has designed us
Yes,
to be, and how we should.
it
we should
was
relate.
how it was supposed to be. Actually, the whole world was supposed to live
To
that
live
way.
like that,
Yes,
and we would have less diseases.
yes,
And we would have less things to kill us. Like food would not be killing us the way it's killing us today. you know,
Yes, yes.
and destroying our lives the way it's destroying lives today. Oh, wow. Wow. What a testimony. So now tell me then, how did this health message impact your life?
The health message played a very big role in my life. You see, I will start by telling you about the time. You see, I was having this big body.
Okay.
And then in our home, we have got this history of high blood. So unfortunately, in my side, from my paternal side, my maternal, high blood. So you see, so many years back, but after in the Adventist church, I went to the doctor. He diagnosed me with high blood pressure. And then I was supposed to start with the medication. That's why I started to take a health message very seriously. So I quit all those unhealthy foods, unhealthy habits, and then I started I took the health message. You see, I took the full package. So I drank. Since then up to now, in the morning, I begin my day with 2 liters of water every day. Warm water with lemon every day. So from there, I started to do that. And then I started to eat different diet from what we were having in the past. So the following month, I went back to the doctor because by the time I was having a medical aid, and then he said I must come, and for him to come and order the chronic medication for high blood pressure. So as he went there, he tested me, and then he was like, "What?" And then he did it again, and then he said, "No, your blood pressure is normal. What's wrong? What happened to you?" And then I told him that I changed my diet completely from what I was having. And then the doctor seemed to be surprised. So from there, by God's grace, I'm no longer in the high blood pressure medication because from there I never turned back.
Wow. You are enjoying, I tell you.
You see, there are so many benefits, so many lots and lots of benefits of being an Adventist.
So, because these are promises, ne? They are
Yes.
promises that we have from the Bible that when you do these things, they are going to promote your life. You are going to have a better life than you are having.
Yes.
And you actually experienced that.
Yes.
And you went through that, and you got to see these things for yourself. Wow. Oh,
So
wow.
I tested. You see that this, what God is saying, is very true. What God says in His word is very true. I've witnessed it in my life.
So then can you say that the health message has sustained you today, like it is?
Yes, because from the high blood, you see, the devil has got this way of fighting you, especially when you decide to take this Adventist road. So there come a time where I got sick. It was a gynecological problem, yes.
Okay.
So I tried the doctors, not finding any help until, you see, as I was getting medication, it's like I was getting worse and worse and worse. So there was this time that I went to the special. They said that this one is the best in Limpopo. I went to him in Polokwane. You see, the day I came back from him, I was the worst. It was the worst day of my life. And then he said, there's nothing we can do. We are going to remove the womb now. We are going to remove the womb. So I have to book for you, to book you to go to the theater. So you see, he gave me these pills. I remember the pills. And they were so colorful, different colors. As I drank those pills, it's like my body became so different. I could hear the noise from my ears. I couldn't wake up. I was so weak after drinking the medication. So it was so terrible.
Wow.
It was so terrible. So
Wow.
it came where it became worse. So by God's grace, you see, God's so wonderful. He sent someone. He sent Mr. Machebe. I remember him. I don't know how. You see, he organized Dr. Mema to come to our village. So he came to our village. That's where I started to. I've seen God at work. Dr. Mema came, and as he came, he didn't introduce new thing. It was the God's way.
And you won't believe, ne? You won't believe that when I met this man as well, someone just recommended, I know, go and see this man. And we went there with my wife, and that man did wonders for us. The things that he did for us, I could not believe it. Dr. Mema is a naturopath, ne?
Yes.
He's a naturopath. He's in Pretoria. So then he travels all over the world now, doing these things of healing. So when I met him, I didn't really think much of him. I didn't make it. It was just, okay, this man is able to reverse maybe most of the diseases that we have.
Yes.
And then I've got a lot of people at home who are struggling.
Yes.
So it was you, it was my dad, and I can't remember who else. I said, taking them to here to be very expensive, and bringing him this side will be expensive, but at least better. So we arranged that he should come just for a week.
Yes.
And man.
And then he came, and then as he came, you see, he explained that, don't look up to me. I'm not the one who's going to heal you, but God is the one that's going to heal you. So we are not going to do something new. What we are going to do, we are going to back to Eden. to what God said we should eat. We are going back to God's diet. So he made, I don't know how it is called, but he cleaned us for 3 days. And then as he cleaned us for that 3 days, from that day, and then he taught me that what kind of oil I should use, what kind of spices I should use as I am cooking, what kind of pap I should use. So even today, my pap is brown. What kind of everything. And then he said, the best diet is the green. The best diet is the green that you are having. You don't have to have lots of money to afford it. So it was wonderful because from there I could see changes in my life. I could see changes. Month after month I was recovering. Month after month I was recovering. Now I was able to go to work every day. See?
Wow. 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 God is good. So tell me that the struggles that you went through with your health, actually introduced you to the message properly.
Yes.
In that now it made you understand, and these things actually worked for you.
Yes. It's like the condition that I was having. Even the doctors were amazed. I went back for them to check. I was having the fibroids. And then I went back for them to check. And then, because they even told me the size of the fibroids by the time, and that you are having how many fibroids, and then they are this size. And then as I went for checkup, and then they said, they're no longer there. They have shrinked. And then they asked me, what are you using for those fibroids to shrink? And then I explained. I told them that each and every morning I'm drinking my 2 liters water. I put dandelion tea in it. So each and every day, so even today, this morning, I drank water with dandelion.
Wow. Wow.
So you see, from there, I started to get this energy like never before. I started to plow. You remember, it was always green there. I started to plant the vegetables. So from there, even now, I'm very much fine. Actually, it's getting better and better because it's like this thing it's inside. I'm trying new herb. I'm trying new herbs, and then they're working wonders in my life. It's like I became my own daughter, my own doctor. So I'm so happy with this experience because even my children, they've adopted this. You see, I've got this 9-year-old. When he's got any problem, he'll say, "Mommy, can I have a charcoal?" It doesn't talk about pills. "Mommy, can I have a tea? Can you pick the leaves? I've got this headache," you see. And I become so happy because I'm a very important person. I'm a doctor.
Actually, you become. That's what we are taught, that we need to know how our bodies work, isn't it?
Yes.
And the Adventist Church emphasizes a lot on health, and that also improves. So you see, for some of us, I just knew that Paul never gets sick.
But why?
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because I've never gone to a doctor because I was sick. Because the diet that we're having at home was already vegetarian in a way.
Yes.
And my father would include, he would just cut, I just did not understand this man. He would be cutting, would tell me to cut onions.
Yes.
Fry them a little bit, not too much.
Not too much.
He says, fry them a little bit.
And then not too much.
Don't overcook that onion. And then I do that onion. After that, then he cuts tomato as it is. He says, tomato as it is, it's fine the way it is. Then he puts it there. Then he puts other things there. He would also have these. We had a lot of fruits at home.
Yes.
So he would make me cut those fruits. Different type of fruits and mix them together We put them in the fridge. We let it rest for some time. It was our best dessert. We're experimenting with so many different things there at home without knowing what are they for. So I would just enjoy, because when your father does, you do. When he does that, I would just love it, and he would put in a bit of salt, and then I would love those things, and we're just enjoying them. But what are they for? What are they helping me with?
Never knew.
I don't understand this thing, but I still wanted to live my life. So it's that crazy that from you see the benefits much more readily than I can, because I'm from the inside. You are coming from the outside.
You see, during COVID, that's the best time I enjoyed being having this health message, because that time my immune was so strong by God's grace, because I was following. I took it the whole package. So at work they will be surprised. This one never cough. Hey, this one. So if they know that they can cough all of them, I will be left alone. And then someone will say, that one is vegetables. That one, So during COVID is the time that I saw that, what I'm doing, yes, it's so beneficial, because that's where I've seen the power of health message.
Oh, wow. Wow. So it really saved your life, actually.
Yes, you see.
So you no longer went for the surgery that they were supposed.
No, I never went for the surgery. I never went. He just said when I come back, he's just going to book for me. And then I went. He checked, and they found us those things are no longer there.
Wow.
So you see, being an Adventist, made me not to go to Caesar.
Wow. Wow. Ay. What a beautiful testimony. What a beautiful testimony. So the whole thing, actually, it's like you've just had this enjoyable walk with the Lord, that you see Him taking you through step by step.
And then you see the benefits. You just sit back and watch. God is in control. You just sit back and watch, and then you enjoy the benefits. You see, I'm a single parent. I'm also seeing a God working on that regard. So you just sit there, and then God will do everything for you. You just sit there, and then God will teach your children how they should live. You see, those are some of the benefits that I have seen for being an Adventist. You see, we can speak for the whole day.
You know. I wanted to read for you, Yes. There's this verse,
Yes.
Where because what you are saying is very true. It speaks about what? Let me think. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll find it now. Let me just hold on. Okay, Mark chapter 3, verse 34. Let me open it in my Bible, actually. Mark chapter 3, verse 34. It says something very beautiful, Mark chapter 3. It was Christ speaking. Mark chapter 3, verse 34. I'll start from verse 31. It says, there came then his brethren and his mother, and standing without, sent unto him, calling him. And the multitude said about him, and they said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren without seek for thee. And he answered them, saying, who is my mother? Who is my brethren? And he looked around about on them, and set about him, and said, behold my mother and my brethren, For whosoever shall do the will of God, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother. So from this, I learned something very important to say Christ is our Father.
Yes.
And He calls us
His children.
His children. He's our Father.
Yes.
He says to us,
Yes.
He points to His disciples and He says, this is my mother, this is my brethren. You don't lose much by becoming a Christian.
Yes.
I also, like you're saying, I don't have a father.
Yes.
I don't have a mother.
Yes.
It's the most terrible thing. The first time I came back from when I was in Gauteng, and then I would come back home and find that my mother is not there. The pain that I felt, to see, hey, I'm all alone. I have no one around me, But in a way that I cannot even explain, the Lord filled that space.
Yes.
And He becomes my mother.
Yes.
He gives me mothers.
Yes.
I've got a lot of mothers in the
Yes.
church. Mrs. Kumalo is one of my mother.
Yes.
I call her my mother. That woman, she raised us. She practically raised all of us in a way that I cannot even describe. My father, Mr. Kumalo, took over and they helped us. They sustained us. They helped us to grow. You've got Dr. and Miss Waslow that they passed away. Then we will see them in heaven one day. They were my mother. They were my father. You've got Pastor Chibase. That man was my father. It's like I've just had a whole lot of fathers and mothers. Mrs. Ngobeni from Khapani.
Yes.
Someone I would never even meet in my life.
Yes.
Becomes a relative that is very close, and they even sustain you. And my mother-in-law as well. As well, she becomes this closer than any other person. Like she becomes your mother. You feel you can trust her.
Yes.
So there's this wide range of relatives that you have around you.
Yeah, that's very true.
And it makes it much deeper and much so. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. You've got people around you. So God is by giving us these things. He gives us from you. I have a sister. We talk a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
I call you and we talk. This is something that would never happen before.
Yes.
You and I had never had shared anything in our lives.
You'll come, and then I will see you with my younger brother. I never knew that I would have a younger brother in you. Yes.
And now we talk. We talk life. You advise me. You tell me how we could handle things. It's like you have a whole. I'm born alone, but I have a whole bus, a whole school bus full of your people, and everyone is your people.
You see?
I met this man, John.
Yes.
And Walter.
Yes.
Walter grew up here.
Yes.
But Walter was just my younger brother, so it's understandable. But I had this brother John, and it's from nowhere. We never met, But here we are. We became very close, and would advise each other, motivate each other, teach each other. So you really realize that God is there in ways you cannot even imagine. It's amazing.
So you have got this chance of seeing Him at work, of testifying that when He says that the brothers are there, the mothers are there, all those that you need, those people are there. You see, during that time, as you are saying, my brothers from church will come. You see, they will come. And just to check how I was doing, and you will see that they are very much worried about my well-being. So you see, in church, what the Bible says is very true. Another aspect, as I said, I've got these children. I'm a single mother. There are people who are responsible in the church to see to it that they advise, you see, that now, sister, this is what it should be done. You see, this is the gene that your boy should take. This is the gene that your girl should take. You see, you are getting this support that you cannot, you don't understand. So it's like God is sending people in those areas that you are in need. That's why I said you just sit and relax. So God will send people in those, some of the things, that these things maybe she cannot handle. And then she will send the relevant people. And then those people will come and take care of that part that you yourself cannot take, you see. So it's so wonderful. What the Bible is saying is very true.
It's an amazing journey, really.
Yes.
It's an amazing journey. So, in essence, you have had the time of your life.
Yes.
It's been challenging.
Yes.
You've had challenges.
Yes.
But you see that the Lord has sustained you through those challenges as well, and He's been there for you.
Yes.
And you are not alone.
You get it's so amazing to see the power of a hand in your life. You see, whereby you can testify that this can only be God. There's no one who could have done this, but this is God. You see, it's like throughout your life, you are seeing God's angels coming to usher you. You are so special. As a child of God, you become so very special to Him. You will start this one. No, this one was not just a happening.
Yeah.
This was God at work.
Yeah.
And then you become happy that indeed God is true what He said.
Wow. I feel that for myself.
Yes.
I feel that, and I thought, maybe I'm just special, And I see that every one of us is going through the same thing.
Even myself, I see myself before God. I see myself very special because of the things that He's doing in my life. So I see myself so special. I think maybe people might look at me and say, she doesn't have this. But to me, because I have got God and I know that He's in control and He's taking care of the things that He thinks are very important in my life. So I just become content.
Wow. What a testimony. Really, we've been blessed, really.
Yes.
To really have you, and for the... is there anything that you would want to say? Lastly, just as we conclude, someone is looking for God out there, just like you. What would you say? What would you tell them? I want you to look at someone and say, this is what I would want to say, because you've had a change of life. You've had a different life, and then it changed altogether into something different and new. And here you are testifying that you've been enjoying your life.
Yes.
What can you say?
What I can say is maybe there's someone out there who has got this same experience as myself, who never got this experience, this chance of meeting God. God is saying you just have to come to Him. And then when you come to Him, and then as you are in Him, He's going to be your master, and then you become His child. So God is calling even today. I know there are people who are out there who are seeking for the same thing I was looking for. I was looking for the true God. I was looking for the true religion, for the true church. So I can say to them, God is so wonderful. The only thing they have to do is to go to His words. And then as they go to His words, God will speak to them. God will talk to them. Yes.
Wow. I really would like to thank the Lord for this beautiful testimony. I wish we can all have that testimony.
Yes, you see, about being an Adventist, I'm not a talkative person, but when it comes to this, I can talk I can talk until morning. Yes, yes, because of the things I've seen in my life, because of the deeds that God did to me. Sometimes you see, there's this slogan that we usually say at home, that people are saying there are no miracles at Sabbath in the Adventist church. Miracles are there. So
Mighty.
Yes, my daughter will say, "Hey, Mama, God of Sabbath today did this for me." Yes, God of Sabbath. People are saying there are no wonders, Mama. Wonders are there, miracles are there. So miracles, what God did in the Bible to his people, even today, God is still doing it. You see, if you could ask each and every Adventist, they will tell you, you'll be surprised. You'll say, "Is this true? Did God do this to you? This for you?" So you'll be so amazed. So the miracles that God was doing in the past, He's still doing them even now, even today.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a time we've had, really. And I hope we can meet again.
Yes, I hope so.
We still need to meet again. There are still some other things we still need to touch, maybe in more detail now, and we see what we can touch. But I think for now,
Yes.
I would want to end it here. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks so much
Yeah.
for this wonderful opportunity.
Yes.
For me coming here
Yes.
to share my testimony
Yes.
with some people.
Yeah.
I hope some people will hear this and then
definitely
they will get something out of it.
We are going to air this very soon. We're going to air this very soon.
Okay.
May the Lord bless you already.
Thanks very much.
And thank you for coming.
You know, it was a fight.
Yeah,
but we thank God.
Yeah, we thank God that you're here. All right, now we've reached the end. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Impact, changing lives. Care to hit the like and subscribe button.